Hey, hello. Thanks for taking 5 with me, Wolf Gorlick. A few minutes riffing on IT and IT security. Today, looking at access control in the day and age of COVID. But first, let me tell you a story. I might have said this video series before. If I did, sorry. Back in the day, we had a set of alarms go off, right? Our DLP system went whoop, someone's doing something they shouldn't. Our SIM lit up like a Christmas tree. Whoop, someone is viewing a whole bunch of folders they shouldn't. And so we investigate. So what do we find? We find gigs of data on this person's laptop. Seems suspicious. They're a very important person. So we go ahead and contact HR. This was back in the time when security might not have been as respected as it is today. HR talks to them. The person's like, no, that's just a backup of my music files. Really? Is it really? Needless to say, they left, and spoiler alert, needless to say, it was not their music files. The tip for you is this: when people are stressed, they do weird things. When people are stressed, they turn from being trusted employees to being malicious insiders. And they do things like, for example, download files or stockpile toilet paper. That may seem like a non sequitur, but if you think about everything we saw with COVID-19, with the coronavirus in the early times, people were stressed. What are they doing? They're thinking very short term. They're thinking about themselves first, their immediate family and friends second. They are thinking about doing whatever it can do to create a sense of safety. And oftentimes that means stockpiling, right? Stockpiling toilet paper was the joke, but water and other supplies, right? This is what we do. This is what human beings do. When people went from working in the office, 16% of the United States workforce, 16% worked from home, 60% or more, 4 days a week. That was before March. By the end of March, 78% of us were working from home. That's a big shift. So all of us work from home. So we're now at home, not necessarily being as secure as we should be. Probably, maybe. Your mileage may vary. You tell me. I know I definitely am. However, when we did that shift, what happens? People are concerned. People are concerned about their positions, their friends. People are concerned because they hear about all the layoffs. People are concerned, is my company going to let me go? Are we going to be okay? And what does that mean? That means people shift from being a trusted employee to a malicious outsider. What that plays out in is people downloading and hoarding data that perhaps they shouldn't. People downloading and hoarding permissions that perhaps they shouldn't. I need to ask for more stuff to work from home. I need to make sure I have everything I possibly need just in case. I need to make sure I have all the copies of my data. I need to make sure I have the copies of the sensitive information that's really a music file, just in case I decide to go somewhere else and potentially take that data with me. This is the situation we find ourselves in right now in terms of security, with 78% of the workforce working from home. Now, you add one more wrinkle. I saw a statistic out from BitSite that kind of concerned me. It said 1 in 7 home routers is suspect, is completely, unlocked down, default password wide open, right? 1 in 7 home routers. So if you figure 78% of the people are working from home, let's call it that 70% because I'm now good at math at the end of the day. Let's say 1 in 7 of those households, you do maybe that's about 10% of your workforce. So 10% of your workforce potentially is sitting on a network router, home cable modem, whatever it may be, that can be compromised from an attacker. Now you run similar statistics and say probably a good number of those are stressed and doing things that feel right for them, that make them feel more safe, but is not necessarily right for our organizations. This creates a very unique security situation. This calls for data loss prevention. This calls for endpoint management, mobile device management. This calls for, ultimately, figuring out what we can do to make our employees feel safer, more secure, so they do the right things. Because at the end of the day, so much of security begins and ends with human psychology, just like we're seeing right now. What do you think? How can we protect against this? How can you defend outside the wall? Comment on social media. Hit me up.